We have a new player lurking around southern Norway, the Kristiansand area. Vi sier Kristiansand, for det er liksom storbyene der. Vi krangler ikke på det akkurat nå. The player may be testing out lizardmen going forwards. They're now lurking in the shadows of a new 9th Age battle between highborne elves, who deploy first, dropping everything, in a King of the Hill battle. They castle up, and I just realized that when the highborne elf player lent me his highborne elf army, he minimized all the effective units against Sylvan elves, and now the effective units are back again.
It's magic.
We have sky sloops, we have a dragon, we have 10 more archers, we have spearmen, swordmasters, no more white lions. Let's look at what the Sylvan elves got.
Exactly the same.
Exactly the same army. And the Sylvan elf player chose this forest to be the king of. The highborne elf player chose this hill, which he is deploying at. So he's got a good starting position, castling on his hill. And he'll be taking the first turn. Now let's see the lizard folk slink into the swampy shadows again, and we may meet them later.
Det som vi follow up, det var mest på spøk, men
vi kan jo...
Vi skal skyte med de greiene, skal vi ikke det?
Jeg foreslår at vi charger.
Okay.
The highborne elves castled up at the hill, vanguarded with the reavers.
Han kan kaste magien I kamp og gå til slåss.
Sylvan elves vanguarded as well.
Få til den chargen, da må vi ha 9 på 2 terninger.
Ja.
Men det verste som skjer da, at de flytter fra liksom sånn.
The wild huntsmen,
ja,
blade riders, the mage on a dragon as great guards.
Når ting kommer litt an på terningkastet.
Have kept behind the impossible terrain because the highborne elves have the first turn. Now they're discussing in Norwegian who to charge. What are their options? Have they made the right choices?
There will be charges.
Bring the charges.
So the sky sloop, those are 2 sky sloops which can easily be seen. This one charged the kestral knights.
And the kestral knights choose to flee.
Der inne.
Okay, there were multiple charges there against the forest rangers. They didn't much take any chances. The 2 sky sloops were pretty much auto-in after one of them redirected from the fleeing kestrels. But the swordmasters have a hard charge, they need 9, and the dragon failed by rolling a 222. So he's not in, the dragon is not in. And the swordmasters?
They need a 9. Men du må trille på nytt, fordi det ikke swiftstride, det bare 2 terninger.
They didn't manage it on a swiftstride, but they don't have swiftstride.
Hey! Hallelujah! Who needs swiftstride?
The highborne elf magic has taken 2 wounds off the Shapeshifter, and the highborne player is frantically trying to get angle a line of sight from the shooting onto the Shapeshifter to take the last wound. That looks pretty impossible.
Ja, doesn't work. Enere. Så da mistet den 1 liv. Og den mistet 2 liv.
The chariots only lost 3 wounds in total on dangerous terrain, and together with impact hits and with the swordmasters, they eliminated all 24 forest rangers exactly before the forest rangers could strike back.
And then the prince fled.
And the prince did not like seeing that. He panicked and ran through the difficult terrain. He did manage his dangerous terrain test though, and didn't lose his last wound.
The dragon mage blasted him with the fireballs in the magic phase and took 2 wounds of him.
Exactly. 2 wounds were shot off the kestrels as well from the archers in the rear. And that's it. Can the Sylvan elves regroup now and counter. They have a lot of flexibility and movement. What can they use it for? Turn 1, the Sylvan elves were really blocked by the shapeshifter who fled. They couldn't advance with their rush army, so they chose to stay back and not take any enemy fire in the first round. The dragon, however, pushed a little bit forwards. It failed casting Oaken Throne on itself, but it got off Healing Water, so it has 5+ regen. Failed by getting dispelled on casting Entwining Roots. After that, 3 Swordmasters were shot down, and that's it. The kestrels tried to charge both Reavers and the Charioteer. They both fled, so the kestrels are in a position where they will not flee off the table despite the thicket here, but they're not in a good position. So let's see what the highborne elves can capitalize on in turn 2. They managed to push forwards and hinder the Sylvan elf in pushing forwards. It's an open battle. The dragon, which flew up to chaff, withstood the charge against the swordmasters, killed 5 of them. 4 were saved. 2 were saved by the hereditary spell of the highborne elves. But the dragon won the combat, and the swordmasters reformed. Now the chariots killed the 2 Kestral Knights outright on the charge with impact hits. However, on round 2, the Sylvan elves seem to have a new grace, a second wind, to catch up on the game. Maybe they can move in. The highborne elves rallied, of course. They have good discipline, so they rallied their unit of Sky Sloop here and these Elaine Reavers, which marched up to get into the battle and fray right away again. The Sylvan elves charged the Glade Riders into the Swordmasters, the 2 Kestrels also. It's a bit tight here, so we just moved them up to represent it. The Wild Huntsmen finally came up. They saw the Shapeshifter fall and took responsibility. Now in the magic phase, Oaken Throne was dispelled, then Summer's Growth fizzled out completely.
Men det skjer ingenting.
And nothing happens because we have a -1 miscast modifier. Yes. All the dice fizzle, we can cast a new spell. The High Elf player commented that this is a small great moment. The Sylvan Elf capitalized on the fizzle. He threw down 3 dice on Stoneskin, a 14 on the dice, 15 with the master, but it was dispelled with the last dice of the enemy. Then he got through Entwining Roots on the Swordmasters, healing the Kestral, and he got through the hereditary spell on the Kestrels, healing the dragon. Now the battle is standing. The rushing army of the Sylvan Elves are on the defensive, but trying to take a stand against a dangerous Swordmaster unit. It's the one block that is really dangerous, except for the dragon. The battle stands here. The highborne elves have taken a very aggressive move. Will it have paid off? They're surrounded now, and have some debuffs on them, some hexes on them. The Master of Cranag Tower was eager to get within range, and he took 2 wounds from the shooting from the Glade Riders, who ambushed this round. Luckily only 1 unit ambushed. Now he might be hiding back in his unit again.
11 bueskudd. De 3+ for å treffe. Hun 1+ for å treffe, og det samme han.
The Swordmasters keep falling to the Kestrels who charge in the rear.
Han har 3 styrke 5 piler.
They lost the combat, but they were still steadfast.
Jeg kommer ikke til å huske det i hodet.
Nei, bare husk at Magnus kan hjelpe deg å huske det annet.
Now it's highborne elves turn 3.
Magnus kan reglene på de.
Jeg kan alle reglene.
Du kan alle reglene.
We're taking a break after round 2. We'll be back another day to finish this very exciting battle. Any last combat comments?
It's pretty unknown what the outcome will be, so we're just excited for the next part, I guess. So.
Was geht ab? we're back! And in this third round, the highborne elves turned around to shoot down the last glade riders. The sky sloops swooped around, repositioning, as well as the dragon mage. One unit of wild huntsmen was shot down, and another was almost decimated. And the swordmasters challenged the dragon with the champion, losing 4 wounds, but managing a steadfast break test. So it was a good move from the swordmasters, lasting 1 more round. And the Sylvan elves are being decimated by the shooting of the high elves, who did have a bad magic phase though. The Sylvans did their job, but it was too little too late, wasn't it? The swordmasters are peeled off. The dragon loses 2 wounds. The wild huntsmen churn through all 5 reavers and overrun. But they're within line of sight of the dragon and the sky sloop, of course. They have stone skin on them, 5 toughness. But it may not help much. Now, highborne elves turn 4. Die Antwort auf die Frage, was geht ab? It's not going well. Es ist schlecht und schlimm. The Sylvan elves had the forest guards flee out to the right of the table, after heavy fire from the highborne elves. Das Zukunft scheint ziemlich gut. The highborne elves are running down the dragon with only 2 wounds left, and almost caught it in pursuit. Now on turn 5 for the Sylvan elves. Can they turn this battle around? They'll have to start by turning the fleeing dragon around. These are the spearmen which fell in the battle against the dragon. But the highborne elf player had the hereditary spell up. So he saved 4 dying spearmen and won the battle because of the hereditary spell. He's just zoning things in for himself. The Sylvan dragon heals itself a couple of wounds with Summer's Growth. Casts Entwining Roots on the spearmen, but it seems like the battle is up, because in the 6th round, the archers got into the forest in a very elegant manner. It's now the highborne elves' last turn. The highborne elves managed to get into the forest and took the objective. The hill was not taken, the Sylvan elves are not king, the highborne elves took the forest in the last round. Unless, as the ambushers arrive on the 6th round and take cover behind the fence, seeing the defeat of their utterly decimated Sylvan army, will the dragon charge the archers, cause terror, and win the objective back? The dragon charges the archers. The highborne elves with the archers first failed a leadership test, and then rerolled and got a 9 with the BSB. So they managed the terror test, they still stand and hold the objective, which they can scarcely lose against the dragon in the last round. We take it for granted that the new general is responsible for the 2 great victories of the highborne elves. There were 2 players cooperating to put into life these grand strategies. On the top of a table,